I'm going to be breaking with a little bit of my habit here, and part of me thinks that this comment wasn't technically directed at me because otherwise it makes absolutely no sense. It also seems as though it was removed, so again, I don't know what to make of it, but I'm going to address it because let it never be said that I shy away from trying to speak to people on criticisms of things. Now, this isn't on this channel. This is on my old channel where most of my subscriptions are at and where I tend to still view videos and interact with users who I've interacted with on the old channel, so that they don't get confused or forget, oh, is Octavius Bad Cop 69, or who is this guy and where do I remember him from? So Klingchor, who is a gentleman who is a scholar of many different things. He's working his way towards having academic credentials with which to back up a lot of what he talks about on his channel. What he tends to talk about on his channel is, in a way, it's criticisms of Islam, but it's not just for the sake of saying, ugh, religion bad, non-religion good, or things of this nature. He tries to take more than just a skin-deep look at a religion that has, I'm not actually sure what his major connection with it is, so you'll have to forgive me on that. He made a rather apt video debunking DawahFilms for the umpteenth time. I asked, is Dawah still at this? Because he's constant. It's not just Klingchor. Many users have taken DawahFilms to task, and usually they've rise to the task. But I should have probably seen this coming, because let's be honest here. Let's be very brutally honest here. DawahFilms is the embodiment of all the things that I dislike of not Islam or any sort of apologetics, just this idea of, oh, I didn't lose, you just didn't see my victory kind of people. People who have a problem with reality, who have a problem with coming to terms with the fact that when what they say doesn't match up with the evidence, or when they don't have the evidence to back it up, when they've been refuted not just by one but many sources, and yet they keep at it, they keep going at it. I mean, part of me wants to admire DawahFilms' tenacity. The rest of me is just like, dude, take the hit and go down. But in response to a question I said, DawahFilms said the following. Odd response coming from you. Last time I checked, you've been watching his videos, his being Klingchor, commenting on his channel and defending him non-stop since he's been on YouTube. No. I only knew of Klingchor through the work of other intellectuals who I followed on my channel, who either had a problem with Klingchor, who Klingchor has since fixed some of the problems that he originally had in some of the summations and presentations he had made on his channel, something DawahFilms has never done in his career, because again, I wasn't wrong, you just didn't see my point. You know, kind of like the I don't hit my wife, she makes me hit her kind of idealism. Not that I'm saying that DawahFilms abuses anybody, please do not mince my words here. I'm just simply saying how the mindset tends to go. But no, I haven't known Klingchor since he got on YouTube. Again, I only knew of him, like, I maybe have become aware of him for a year. Defending him? I've never made a single video defending Klingchor. I actually made a rather embarrassing video on my last channel that's since been deleted because it was very anti-productive, yelling at Klingchor because of the ways in which he was relating pedophilia to child brides, as if the two are absolutely mutually exclusive, for which there is no research to link that. And while my heart was in the right place, the video was just abysmal because I was angry. Because I've been fighting this fight for a long time for people to see people for who they are and to deal with people on a person-by-person basis rather than overgeneralizing an entire population and then justifying dehumanizing people who can and have been able to be productive members of society without hurting anyone, let alone the children. But again, you could probably hear all about that in my playlist that'll be on my channel. One of many playlists on stuff that I've actually spent time researching because, you know, I spend my time trying to prove society, or I have, at a point, I have spent time trying to prove society right. Because I've been spoon-fed a lot of things, as have most of you in life, to believe certain things are true based off of little or no evidence. And when you go back and you actually look at the evidence, it's embarrassing to realize the things that we as a society cling to. But again, that's going off topic. I haven't known Klingchor. I will defend him now, and I do defend him in the past in terms of just basic in passing comments, but I don't make videos about the guy. I don't make videos about his work. So how am I defending Klingchor since he came on to YouTube, DawahFilms? Care to explain that one? Whereas I rarely am able to make videos for months at a time, and this is the first one I've made in over half a year. I didn't talk anything about the frequency of videos that you make, Dawa. In fact, I think you realized that when you went back and reread my comments and removed the yelling and exclamation points that you probably had in your head of me trying to berate you for things that, frankly, I'm just saying that you've been wrong. Very, very wrong. And you have been taken to task by people both credible and maybe not so credible in the past. And yet you continue on with your line of thinking. Now, I'm not trying to say you need to force yourself to stop thinking the way that you do, but there comes a point to where you're just embarrassing yourself. Especially when Klingchor is 10 times the academic that you have proven yourself to be in throughout most of your videos. Oh no, I'm sorry, I forgot. A, I'm white, and therefore that means that B, I'm part of the Zionist conspiracy to try to suppress the true nature of what is Islam, because I've been brainwashed by the West. And that is where I fail. You DawahFilms, apparently, you're tapped into the vein of the true nature of reality. And I'm just living in the matrix, and all you're trying to do is give me that red pill, and darn it, I keep taking the blue one, or however that works. I haven't watched The Matrix in a long time. You have to forgive me. It's just, there comes a point where you embarrass yourself. And if you really have any pride that you seem to display as an intellectual, and I do believe you have the capacity to be an intellectual, DawahFilms, despite what people tend to paint you as, I'm not one of them. It's just that you keep trying and you keep failing so miserably. And rather than admitting to it, or sometimes you'll admit to the small stuff, but not the big stuff, because, oh no, I don't want to hurt my own, my own credibility on this sort of thing here. You just keep going. And I don't understand it, unless it is that instead of me being the brainwashed Zionist conspirator that is defending Klingchor up and down the internet, that I am, that maybe it's you yourself who has some of the more extreme views out there and are misconstruing things so that it fits into your box of whatever reality you seem to be inhabiting. I want to believe that you're better than this, DawahFilms. I want to believe that you have value as somebody who can come to the table and be productive and be progressive. But unfortunately, you're constantly breaking my image that I keep trying to see of you as a progressive, as an intellectual, as somebody who does want to do things in a manner that helps everybody, not just the selective people you seem to talk about at certain times. But the things aren't over. You could always change things. You could always come out with a thing. Frankly, I don't care if you never come out and actually admit that you're wrong, but if you came out and started talking in line uh, with what the evidence is actually showing, instead of constantly trying to defend the indefensible, then, I mean, not that you care about my respect, and not that I pretend that you do, but I would honestly respect you more. You don't even have to take down your old videos. Hell, I keep up a lot of videos where I've made mistakes on my past channel because I like for people to show that I can screw up. But I also like to make correctional videos and show that I am not above saying I was wrong. I was being an idiot or being stupid or being a jerk. Whereas you just keep going. You're like the Energizer Bunny of Islamic apologists, and I just don't understand the game anymore.